Rockville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 4 minutes after 9 o'clock the other day, Robin, we had a lady on the air. She wrote a book about visualizing your future. You're supposed to, in your mind, picture your life the way it's going to look. I pictured on top of the world.
Okay. I know you can't wait.
I pictured wide roads, a gate that won't let me in unless I have the right thing on my car, and lots of activities. And Robert Cullen coming over every day for tea.
Thank you. That'd be great.
There you go.
Robert Cullen is in the studio. He's one of the managers over at On Top of the World, and Cammie Dennis is his guest. Cammie's been with us before. She's the fitness director at On Top of the World, and I'll be there in my visualization, by the way, doing my squat thrusts or whatever we do.
Thank you.
Whatever we do.
Good morning.
Good morning, Robert.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cammie.
Good morning.
So one of the reasons why I brought Cammie back so many, I think this may be your 4th or 5th time with us, so it's great having Cammie. But we've talked about in the past, and we talked about last week, the great houses that we're building and the communities that we develop.
Yeah.
We've talked about a lot of the clubs, Master the Possibilities, our education facilities that we have. And, one of the big components of what we do is it's not just about building great houses in a great community. It's really about optimizing the way people live their lives, and in a way, and I like to think evolutionizing, if that's a word, but evolutionizing the way people live. And Cammie's really at the forefront of that because people come to On Top of the World, they move down here, they retire, and they've been living that life where they've been working every day and they've been eating, processed foods or junk foods or just trying to get through their day because they've got to work. And maybe they haven't had time to exercise, and maybe they haven't had time to do things that they really should be doing to improve their body, improve their life, make life more meaningful and exciting. And so Cammie's really at the forefront of what she does with that, and some of the new steps that we've done in the buildings that we're bringing online. Cammie's really been directing that, so that's why I'm glad to have Cammie.
Oh my
here
gosh,
to talk about it.
there's so much truth to what you just said, Robert. I think this all the time, that we spend so much time with this, Robert and I, and then we do children's books, so that takes a lot of time. And then you say, we should be exercising. Well, when do you do it? I know it's a cop-out because you find time every day, so I know there's a mental block there somewhere, but I think we think this way, and it's true what you say about eating too. We found ourselves doing the same thing. We don't have much time. Well, let's just go into the no offense to the commissary out there, but we go in there, hurry up and get something, bring it back here, and then get back to work, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, changing lifestyle behaviors is hard. So there's the intellectual side of that, just like you said, Larry.
Yeah.
We should eat right and exercise. But for me, it's about learning how to motivate people intrinsically, because as human beings, we're intrinsically motivated by what makes us happy, what provides us comfort, what provides safety.
Right.
So if I can help them connect on that level with activities, we like the word activities better than exercise. Exercise can be threatening.
I like that.
So activities and our view of fitness and wellness is far beyond just the walls of a fitness center, if you will. And I love to talk about our brand new fitness centers because we have some fabulous stuff going on there. But it's beyond that. So we have wonderful fitness centers where you can go and exercise, but then we have all of this stuff that really supports wellness above and beyond that.
You had, was it last week, you had an art show, Art in the Park, and by the way, we bumped it to summer.
Yep.
And walking just for the sake of walking is hard for me, but walking to visit something, like to walk in the park, to walk in Sloan Park. At the Art in the Park event, that was, my little app said I walked 2 miles that day.
Yeah.
That's really cool, huh?
So there's some more of that intrinsic motivation I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that connected you. You were motivated by how many steps you walked. You were motivated by walking around and seeing the beautiful art. And so we understand that, and we really bring that to all of our programs.
So do you find that the people who move into On Top of the World, not to imply that everybody there is retired, but I'm guessing you have a large population that is. Mm-hmm. Do you find that was one of the things they told themselves before they retired, that when I retire, then I will do more exercise or do more activities in general.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They definitely see that as an opportunity to redirect their lifestyles to a healthier, a more optimal aging platform, if you will. And so we really have quite a spectrum of residents there. So I will have residents that are fearful of falling. Maybe they're struggling with Parkinson's disease. We have exercise programs for that.
Just for that, huh?
But I have to have programs for the new 55-year-old that is young and vibrant and strong and wants to work out, might be a competitive athlete even. So we really look at that full spectrum and we accommodate all of that.
Do you know, I have an idea, Robert. Instead of golf carts, Flintstone mobiles.
There you go.
You have to push them with your feet, right? Just a thought. You might want...
How do you handle, well, you said that there are athletes that live out there. Larry and I were bicycling one day and we saw a gentleman and he was 82 and he just zipped right past us. And then when he was at the end of the run, we struck up a conversation with him and kind of put us to shame.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's really not about how old you are. It's about what you're capable of doing. So I'll have residents all the time come and talk to me and say, well, I'm 68 years old. What kind of exercise should I do? I said, I don't really care how old you are. Tell me what you can do. Tell me what you like to do. Tell me what you want to do. Now I can help forge an exercise plan for you. And we have residents out there that compete in the senior games. I look for any opportunity I can to highlight those testimonials because they're so powerful. You know, people will look at me as a fitness director and I've accrued a lot of information over the years scientifically, but somebody that's their peer, that's a champion, that's much more powerful.
And what you're letting on to is the fact that there's a psychological element to what you do.
There is. Perceptions of aging are huge, and we have to get out of this notion that age defines who we are. Age does not define us. Our capabilities do.
Do you do that for all of your employees, Robert? Do you encourage them to have a physical fitness program to be the best they can be emotionally and physically?
She's certainly tried to encourage me, but
we do, and I work really closely with Human Resource, and we actually have an employee health fair coming up in 2 weeks. And we will have all kinds of screening, health screenings, information. We really try hard to encourage our employees to participate in some of the same lifestyle things that we offer for our residents. You know, we want to talk the talk, but we also want to walk the walk. And so they have the opportunity to work out at the fitness centers during certain times. They have a lot of great privileges.
And we get discounts to the
ranch. Get a discount to the Ranch Fitness Center and Spa, which is open to the public. So a lot of times when I'm speaking in the public realm about On Top of the World, there's all of these neighboring retirement communities that love our programming, and I'll get calls about it. And unfortunately, they can't participate in the private amenities, but the Ranch Fitness Center and Spa is open to the public. And everything that goes on at On Top of the World, we replicate at the Ranch Fitness Center and Spa for optimal aging programming.
How do you tell a person they're doing too much? Because sometimes they can go to an extreme and actually hurt themselves.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. There's disordered behaviors when it comes to eating and exercise, and some people overdo it. We just kind of try to redirect that. If they're very enthusiastic about exercise, we don't want to, we want to keep them going, but we just try to redirect it in a more positive way.
So your influence on the whole community kind of adjusts the culture of the community, I guess, in a way, so that just by the fact that you have these programs makes everybody say, you know what, maybe I should do that. Instead of watching TV, maybe I should go take a walk or that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it really goes back to that intrinsic motivation. What is enjoyable? What's fun? That's what's going to provide the adherence, not because you're supposed to exercise. That's only going to last for a very short amount of time. So I really have to work hard at creating social environments, right? So I talked about fall risk reduction. That's a huge program for us. Older adults are fearful of falling because the consequences are pretty catastrophic. It's the number one reason for death from an injury for people over 65.
Really?
And they're well aware of that.
Oh my gosh.
They're fearful of that. So I put them in a room for exercises that help bolster balance, reduce their risk of falls, but they're also sitting with 40 other people that have the same concerns. So now I've also provided almost a support environment, a social environment, and exercises.
Yes.
So it's that psychological element, the emotional, the physical. It all comes together really well.
And the cap on top of that, what On Top of the World is doing is we've been building new facilities that Cammie's going to talk about here in a second, that are just opening now or just getting ready to open, that even provide better places for socialization, more excitement, more light even. So it's, Cammie, you want to talk about the Arbor Club?
Our beautiful new Arbor Fitness Center is just spectacular. It's one whole wall of windows that overlook our tennis courts. There's all this beautiful natural light that's coming in. And it's really state-of-the-art, I like to call it a state-of-the-art optimal aging facility. All of the equipment was selected specifically for our population. So for instance, we have 3 golf courses. We have a lot of golfers. And so we have a core circuit with top-of-the-line Nautilus equipment just to strengthen, provide good core integrity to support their golf game or their tennis game. We have machines that are capable of wheeling a wheelchair. You just drop the seat. So I've got cardiovascular activity, strength training activity for anybody that's in a wheelchair. We have Olympic benches, powerlifting opportunities for those super fit athletes that we talked about, Robin, that really want to strength train. And then we have something called Fitness on Demand, which we're really excited about. And that's a virtual fitness platform. So you walk into our beautiful new studio, and there's an iPad there on a kiosk, and you can scroll through 200 classes. Pick one, pick a class. It will tell you what the class is, the duration, the equipment, and then you hit play, and it comes on, the instructor comes on 2 70-inch TV screens inside our beautiful studio. So you could have an instructor-led class anytime that we're open.
Are you the only one in the class?
Oh, we have women that come together and do classes together. We have husband and wives that come in and do yoga together. So we have guys in the morning at 6 a.m. They'll go in there and they'll be doing what we call HIIT training, high intensity interval training.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they're in there at 6 a.m. doing their workout.
Do you know what I would be afraid of? I would be afraid of that I would fall into the category of the guy who just wants to watch that and do it by myself. You remember that 7th grade prom where everybody kind of didn't dance? Right? Yeah. That's. I'm afraid. I would like to be part of the prom and actually dance in your arena with exercise, but I'm afraid I would fall back into that shy thing. Let me do the thing by myself, kind of.
Yeah.
So how do you get me out of that? How do you?
Well, that's just making the right connection. That is really just making the right connection. We do that all the time. We ask kind of a resident maybe where they're at physically, how much have they been exercising, what are their goals, what are their needs, what are their personal concerns, and then we show them the classes that we have available, and sometimes it might be connecting a male with a male instructor. We have a lot of male instructors, and so that makes it easy to get men into the classes. And I think once you're in the right place with like-minded people, you want to come back for more than just the exercise. You come back, you make friends, you make a connection with the instructor.
And is there a clinical way of measuring your success, like
absolutely.
weighing you and figuring out your heart rate and all that stuff?
We do all kinds of free assessments. We have free fall risk assessments, free posture assessments, and so that gives you 10 or 15 minutes with a personal trainer, and they can do a quick assessment on you through simple tests and help guide you into what the right classification of exercise would be for you.
And you focus on good hygiene for the equipment too, because people don't want to go on a piece of equipment where somebody else has been sweating.
Yes, you're right. They're fully staffed, so we have staff there from open to close. Part of their job is keeping the equipment clean and tidy, but we also have very sleek gym wipe dispensers all around, and they're sanitary dispensers, so you can wipe down the equipment before or after you use it.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, we want people to feel very safe in that way.
And the Arbor Club also has an indoor swimming pool that's heated and an outdoor pool, so it's like you've got really the full range of what you can do physically to exercise.
So
We
you have
also-
swimming exercises too?
We do. That's very, very popular. Water aerobics is really popular because exercising in water is very different than on land. It's a great
'Cause you don't
environment
sweat.
for exercise. It's not that you don't sweat. Water lifts you. Water has certain properties. So the buoyancy of water lifts you. So how about this? When you stand in water waist deep,
Yeah.
you weigh half of what you do on land. So you offload your body weight by at least half if you're in waist deep water. And the deeper you go, the more you offload your body weight because the water lifts you. So people that might have orthopedic issues,
okay.
trouble
Yeah, I
exercising
see
on
that,
land,
yeah.
they can jog in the water, they can move through the water. So it's extremely popular. Water walking, water aerobics, lap swimming. We have all of
So
those
does
programs.
the swimming pool not have an incline to it? Like it stays the same depth everywhere you're walking?
Well, they just stay in the shallow end for
Oh, I see. You
shallow
just
water
stay
aerobics.
where it's the one there.
But you know, Larry, you're right because we have deep water aerobics, and you can wear a flotation belt, and there you're working. You're completely suspended. Your feet are not hitting the floor. So jogging and doing all kinds of jumping jacks in the water, floating.
That's
and
cool.
water's very resistive. So when you move your limbs through the water, you get some strength training.
It's hard to imagine, but I know it is. We had the mother of, oh gosh, who was the swimmer that was the Olympic swimmer?
Oh, gee.
But we had her
Can't
on.
remember his
Well,
name
whatever.
now.
If you remember his name, it'll as soon as you say
A
it, I'll
couple
know.
Olympics ago.
But anyway, she told me that he ate 10,000 calories a day.
That's what Michael Phelps used to.
That's
it.
the
Yeah,
name. That's the
oh,
name.
yeah,
That's the
Michael
name.
Phelps, I do remember
Yeah, we
hearing
had his
that.
mom on. We didn't have
Yeah.
him. We had his mom.
Yeah.
And
Right, for breakfast, right? It was.
No, I think.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it was the whole day. I don't know, but the
Yeah.
point is, wow, you can burn that many calories swimming. Who knew?
Yeah.
He was swimming a lot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's done other athletic conditioning as well outside the pool, which is
Probably,
pretty
yeah,
demanding.
yeah.
Yeah.
So is all of this available to non-residents of the On Top of the World communities? Do you have programs that people can sign up for?
So the Arbor Fitness Center that we were just speaking about is the newest fitness amenity for our residents. That's a private facility. But the Ranch Fitness Center and Spa mimics a lot of those programs, and that is open to non-residents. That is open to the public.
And does that have a pool associated with
It
that
has
too?
a very unique pool. It has a warm water pool. It's 92 degrees. So it's wonderful for movement that might be associated with rehabbing after a surgery for knee replacement or a hip replacement. And the water temperature is extremely inviting.
Wonderful.
You know, typically, lap swimming pools are kept at about 83 degrees. And if you jump in and start swimming, that's
Really?
very comfortable. But if you're going to get in and walk in the water, 83 might feel chilly. So 92 degrees is extremely welcoming and inviting.
Is that right?
It's
Wow.
very popular.
Wow, that's
Gosh.
that's 20 more than the Rainbow River.
Yeah, yeah. So we do have an indoor pool there that we program in as well. And we are just about to open another fitness center. Hard to believe, we just opened Arbor Fitness Center in March. And very shortly, we're going to be opening a new fitness center. I like to call it a wellness center because it's got so much more than fitness in our new Indigo neighborhood.
Nice.
And
Wow,
so
wow.
that is going to have an indoor fitness facility with the fitness on demand I told you about, the virtual programming. It's going to have an outdoor power park. So imagine exercising on equipment outdoors on a beautiful day.
That sounds nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
next to an event lawn that has chairs and tables and outdoor games.
nice.
And a beautiful swimming pool. So it's going to be this lovely wellness center right in the middle of one of our new neighborhoods.
So have you had somebody who was pretty sedentary who started one of the programs, and now you see him jogging around the neighborhood or bicycling or something like
Great
that?
story.
I have the most inspiring testimonials you can imagine, life-changing.
Really?
It is such a gift to work in a profession that you can profoundly influence somebody's life.
I bet.
Yeah,
And
it
that-
is amazing. I will tell you, we have transformed encore careers by some of our retired residents who came to live it on top of the world. Exactly the scenario that we were talking about. Very busy through their corporate lives, put their health, kind of not as a priority, and now it's their priority. They moved in very deconditioned. Not only did they get fit, we encouraged them to get certified in fitness, and now they're some of our top trainers.
Is that right?
I am not kidding.
Wow. Wow.
And more than one of those, 3 of our instructors on staff are Encore careers.
Wow. Anybody with like physical changes, like you could have a before and after photo?
Yes.
Some of them? Oh,
yes,
wow.
dramatic. And like I was saying earlier, those trainers are so much more powerful than me with 28 years of experience and certifications and degrees, right? Because they saw their own peer transform themselves. So they are a very important part of our program and what we are doing. They're living it,
Really?
doing it.
And the certifications for the trainers, like you were saying, as well as yourself, you have to go every year to make sure that you're up on the newest equipment and things, because sometimes the equipment you're using is passé.
You're absolutely right, Robin. Every 2 years, we have to have a certain amount of continuing education credits to maintain our credentials.
But Robin, is more than that. For people like Cammie, they're out there going and finding out what is the new cutting edge things that are going on.
Yeah.
What is it that nobody else is doing, but really is going to push people to really improve their lives? And that's what Cammie's done. There's so many things that over the years that she's brought forward to On Top of the World residents that it would amaze you.
Really?
Well, that's why
That's
it's so
excellent.
exciting to be part of what's going on over there, because I'm a fitness director, but fitness is really just a piece of a big pie that we call wellness. And so it's so easy to integrate my programs over there because we have Master the Possibilities. We have all of these outdoor activities, radio-controlled flying fields,
Nice.
golf and tennis and power parks, walking trails,
Social clubs,
fitness
yeah.
trails. So it's very easy to plug into all of that, and it becomes part of that motivation to live well, age optimally,
Yeah.
and then fitness becomes part of
Yeah,
that. so
about
easily.
living a meaningful and happy and
You
purpose-driven
guys are
life.
awesome. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm going to live there. So when you referenced Parkinson's earlier, I wanted to go back to
Yeah,
that just for a
yeah.
second. So is part of it, I don't know if this is even appropriate as far as how to, because I don't know your profession, but is it therapeutic more than, you know what I mean? Like you hear about people who have to do these little exercises, what's like Zumba ball and that kind of thing to not fall over or whatever?
Yeah, there is a therapeutic element to it, but hands down, any neurologist will tell you, I can say confidently, that exercise is a critical aspect of managing the challenges of Parkinson's. It's our newest program.
So
We're very excited about it.
exercise is therapy. I'm sorry.
Well, it becomes very therapeutic because you have a room full of people with Parkinson's on a huge spectrum. So you'll have very high functioning people. You'll have people that have trouble getting out of a chair, and they're all there to empower each other. They usually come with their care partners. So you have this room full of people supporting each other, cheerleaders, and now we're leading them through exercises that are going to help them manage all of those physical challenges of Parkinson's.
Wow, very exciting.
It is really exciting.
And earlier when you were talking about falls and the fall prevention, throughout the construction of all of the On Top of the World communities, Robert, you've been so painstakingly just accurate about putting down, the sidewalks and the parking spaces and things like that to prevent falls.
Well, and we manage those sidewalks as well. You're always checking to make sure that there's no trip hazards, and we maintain them on a very regular basis. So that's.
You do a good job with that.
So it sounds like the carrot on the stick is the socializing part. You get
That's
to
huge.
you go into exercise, but you're really going to hang out with your friends, and when you're done, you have exercise somehow.
It's absolutely both.
Yeah.
And so as a fitness director, I have to be aware of that, and I have to encourage that, and I have to embrace it. And then I have to teach all of our instructors and our fitness attendants that, so that they understand that and we can nurture that.
Do you know the part of what you do that I don't get? And we have authors like several times a year talking about yoga. I don't get how that's exercise. It looks like you're just sitting there.
Okay, so you've got one specific yoga pose in your mind. Yoga is extremely challenging depending on what style of yoga you're doing. So there's a form of yoga, we call it a flow. It's called a vinyasa flow, and you move from one pose into the other without stopping. And yoga positions require a lot of strength and a lot of flexibility.
Really?
So it's a very balanced workout.
Even though you're
Some
moving?
yoga can be very calming, quiet, soothing, and relaxive, but that's a different style. Certain styles of yoga can be a wonderful form of exercise.
But even though,
Wow.
yes, you're right, I was picturing one thing, but,
Yeah.
but when you see people moving in yoga, they are like a sloth. So it's like,
Yeah.
All right, but let me, now I can tell you scientifically,
Yes.
I can answer your question scientifically and tell you why that's good for the body. Because when you move very slowly and you really execute the movement well, all of your muscles are extremely engaged. So you are recruiting all of your muscles to hold perfect posture, to move from one pose into the other. And so it uses a lot of muscles even though you're moving slowly.
wow, wow.
Isn't she amazing to listen to?
I think so.
You really,
Yeah, you should go on the
absolutely
circuit.
true. That's absolutely true. Yeah.
The speaker circuit.
Yeah, you inspire us just by coming in here. I've often thought that's, because when you hear people say, "Did you watch the show last night on TV?" I said, "When do you have time to watch TV?" And it's just like, how do you spend so much time watching TV? I don't get that. And yet we spend time doing stuff with like I say, the children's books or whatever. I'm exhausted at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I think there's probably some places where we could do something.
The right exercise energizes you.
Yeah,
So
are they all
when
times
you-
of the day, or is it basically in the morning, the exercise?
Our exercises all times of the day, and now that we have fitness on demand, anytime that we're
Oh,
open, you've got a
great.
fitness program, right?
Really?
So that's the beauty of fitness on demand. We do have lots of classes. We have probably on any given week about 100 classes across our campus between our Recreation Fitness Center,
Really?
the Arbor Fitness Center, and the Ranch Fitness Center and Spa. We've got about 100 classes you choose from.
So do you have exercise after dinner, like in the evening, that kind of thing?
We do at the Ranch Fitness Center and Spa. We have
Oh, wow.
evening classes for sure.
Wow, wow. By the way, you mentioned Nautilus. Did you know, and I guess you know this, right, that Arthur Jones used to live in our community, the guy who invented them?
I did not know that. Did you know that, Robert?
Oh, you didn't know that?
That is a great fun fact. Thank you for telling me that.
He lived where John Travolta now lives.
Wow.
And
That was his place.
and his-
He built that place.
and his wife is a listener to the show. What is...
Terry Jones
Yes.
there.
Yes.
That is awesome.
So Terry, if you're listening, call in, say
We
hey.
love Nautilus equipment. Our whole new
I thi-
gym is outfitted with Nautilus equipment.
I believe that runway and everything that Travolta now owns was built for Arthur Jones because he was flying all over the world.
Oh, that's
Flew all
neat.
over
Back
the
in the
place.
day.
Yeah.
That is cool to know.
Thank you both for what you do and for coming in here and inspiring us. Robert, you'll be my neighbor soon.
I don't live in there.
You're
too young.
Oh, you're too young.
I'm old enough to live there now.
Are you living
I
there?
just
She
had
lives
a
near me, though.
birthday, and now I'm old enough to buy
Oh,
a house
happy
on top
birthday.
of the world.
Oh my gosh. So give us some information, Robert, I guess, so we can contact you or find out more about some of the programs
Well, you
we've been
can
talking about.
find us at topoftheworldcommunities.com and call in anytime.
And visit Cami.
Yes.
How many instructors are over there?
We probably have about 20
Wow.
fitness instructors right
Wow.
now.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
So there's hope for me?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Cami. Thank you, Robert. We'll be right back.